Good morning, gamers. Today I'm going to tell you guys the best and the fastest way that you can get energy activators in the first Descendant. So we're just gonna dive straight into it. I clearly have crafted one right here. I actually left the screen on for quite a while just so you guys could see me crafting it. But we don't have enough to make another one. So together we'll just, you know, get ready with me or whatever the kids say nowadays. We're gonna go get it. We're gonna need a low carbon activator, a conductive metallic foil, heat plasma battery, polyatomic ion particles, and of course, a blueprint. Starting off, we're gonna get the low carbon activator at the Kingston strategic or the outpost. This one you don't need to run Sharon or anything like that. You can just go and get it. You just go and do it. But there is actually a really neat trick that I saw on TikTok. Actually, I believe it was TikTok or Reddit. I'm not entirely sure. I forgot to go in private and do it. So when it comes to outpost specific materials, right now there's actually a great way to grind these in practically no time. You could argue it's a bit of a glitch, but it is easily by far the fastest and easiest way to do it. All right, so let's show this trick. It's actually really simple and it's a bit cheesy, but hey, if it works, then it works. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys the trick that I saw on Reddit. This will make it super easy to grind outpost materials when you need something from a boss, because you can just reload it and do it over and over again. So let me explain how it works. First off, you're gonna have to kill these ads. Mostly so I can focus up a little bit. I'm gonna kill these little things here. Okay, now the boss is right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for the boss to get here. We're gonna start walking out of the map, wait for the timer to hit 0 seconds. It's gonna be a small gap at the 0 seconds where you get a failed infiltration, but he still drops the loot. And now you can already just go right on back. Look at this, we already got 9 low carbon activators. Now if you just jump on back, spawn them again, get rid of these annoying ads. We don't need to lead them this far out, it's just easier to land the shot. Just wait until the second half of the 0 seconds, right? Like, what was it show 0, wait like half a second, and then shoot him. Helps a lot if you have a one-shot weapon, like I do. And then you can just keep doing it, he's spawning again. Much faster than reloading, and you know, it really adds up over a long period of time. Here we go again. It's another, how much do I get? 17 of them. Again, this is not even hard mode. Sometimes that happens, it's invisible. Just shoot the bottom. Shoot the base of it. That's another one. Like, this is super fast, super easy to do. It works for now. Otherwise, once they do fix this, because I'm sure they will eventually, all you really need to do is just do this one and then go out and then go back in and reload. Just run it on normal, as it is much easier. I whiffed that, that's embarrassing. But it's really no biggie whatsoever, just re-roll it. It's still much faster than going in and out and manually resetting. Yeah, we just keep going really, but we're not really here to grind a bunch of these, so now we just need about as many as we have right now. All good. So we can move on with the next part of the energy activator. So that was, we already have 129 of them now, so we are more than chilling. We're gonna move on to the next, which is the conductive metallic foil. So these things you can get it for killing bosses. We've covered it before. It's a new thing that you can actually get it from bosses. I really do not recommend running bosses for it or elites, because you get 1 per boss when you complete a mission in the area. It's just not worth it. What you should do is get Enzo if you can, and even if you don't have Enzo, just open up encrypted vaults. I'll show you guys how to do that just now. I have made a video explaining how to get Enzo if you want to get him like the most optimal way. You can check that out on the channel after we're done here. But anyway, so what we're gonna want to do here is just run around here. We'll be looking for encrypted vaults. Now, I know this part of Vespers pretty well. They normally spawn in the same place. So all we really need to do is run around a little bit. We're gonna spam our scan. What's over here? This one is probably gonna be, yeah, over here. It gives us a bit of a directional audio as well. Did I overshoot? I might have overshot. I have definitely overshot. It's here somewhere. It's not the one I know of. I think it's up here. Yes. So Codebreaker, again, because you have Enzo, and also because I recently changed these, it's much easier and you get way more. Enzo, I believe, doubles the amount you get. So we're just gonna have to run this twice, really. So grabbing 1, easy as pie. That's okay, that's 7 because it's a standard one. If he doesn't need more Codebreakers, you want to do this on hard as well because you get more materials on hard. But if you guys do want to get more Codebreakers, I will always suggest the anticipated ambush point, because you kill so many mobs. There's so many people usually grinding these, and you can get all the Codebreakers that you need to open these vaults up. I think a lot of people in my comments have asked me, like, okay, what's the mission? What mission should I run to get this? Or like, what mission should I run to get the codebreaker. Get this crafting material without having to use Enzo or doing the encrypted vaults. But honestly, man, it takes so much longer to run missions to get like maybe not even like you get one if you're lucky by killing the elites in certain missions, but most of the times you don't. I would rather recommend you go get Enzo if you can, but even if you don't have Enzo, go hard mode if you can, and even if you can't go hard mode, and just get code breakers or code analyzers and find these vaults and open them up. It is such a big difference in the amount of time you spend on it. And if your goal is doing this as fast as possible, then that is the best way to go about it. Now, obviously, that might require additional grinding, but you're gonna need these regions for other things down the line as well. So I believe it's worth the grind. I mean, the game is all about grinding anyways, setting yourself up. So we're gonna hit the same guy. Normally they seem to be about in the same place, so you just kind of go the same way. I'm going to make a video going over like optimal vaults and like routes that I would run for the different parts. If you guys are interested in that, it's still in the works because I haven't explored all the regions yet and really figured out the ideal routes. But you can just hit the subscribe button and we will go over it eventually. So right now we are re-rolling it, but ideally I would just want to go, because we're not getting for some reason they're not spawning like they normally would. But right now we're just re-rolling it. We're just getting a little bit at a time. I would argue you probably just need, like when you make a path for these vaults, I would argue you probably need like two or three stops. Maybe include like an ultra precision or just a precision one, and then you're good. Usually they seem to spawn, you get the same type in the same area. Is that the one with the cave? It is. There you go. This is another really common one that I've seen. There's also, you have this beautiful mark, we've talked about it before. This thing is a great help. If there is one of these, there's one nearby, you can line it up to find a code, encrypted vault. But this spot is a bit tricky to find if you don't really know what you're looking for. This is actually a different spot than... Okay. Wait, jackpot. All right. I was wondering where all of them were. They were just hiding in the corner here. Like, this is so easy on Enso. It moves slower. The things are massive now. And again, on hard mode, you get double on Enso. It multiplies again. It's so much better. And now we have a precise one. Gives us even more. 10. And that should be enough to give us all that we need. Yep. So now we got the 25 metallic foils. Moving on, we were going to want the heat. Moving on, of course, we want to get the heat plasma batteries. You can get these from Old Mystery or the Haven. I would suggest running this on hard and of course on private, so you can leave. You can leave once you have the item. You don't get it by doing the you don't get the heat plasma battery, whatever, by actually killing the boss. You actually get it from killing a elite enemy. So we're going to be jumping in. We're going to be speed running to the elite enemy. I believe there's one per mission. So as soon as you kill them, just leave it and then go again. And then again, and again. You can just skip these guys, no problem. They only care about fighting when they actually provide loot. This one as well, just run straight through it. Or don't even loot. Even loot, they just progress on the mission, and most of them don't at this one, which is very convenient. Same goes with these, though it's a bit awkward. They're gonna chase us as well, but it doesn't really matter. You wanna get in here? Should have time to open it. Now this one, you could save a considerable amount of time, since you have to stand in these Kuiper ores, so you could save a considerable amount of time if you had a pre-made squad. Seeing as you just need to send in one of these for, I believe, 15 seconds. And if you have a full squad, even if you have 2 people, it goes twice as fast. But if you have a full squad, you can literally do this in a quarter of the time, basically. I would say that in this case, normally there's... Oh, there you go. Normally there's only one elite per mission, but there is actually one elite after this one as well, which is pretty easy to do when you're solo, assuming you have a lot of damage. So we're gonna kill this guy, and then we're gonna continue a little bit deeper. There we go. So we got our item sitting right there. There's a heat plasma battery. We got 13 right there, but we're gonna move on out. Now, obviously, if you don't like these movements, data retrieval, movement levels, or parts, you can just restart it before, but I believe that once you really get the groove of this one, it's not too bad. And you also have this one over here, so pretty worth it. You can actually skip this one too. I'm gonna show you guys this little path I found. If you really want to min-max it, just go around it, but it's like, I don't know how much you gain, because it's gonna be easy to dodge it anyways. Just gonna clear these waves out. Then there's the elite I was talking about before. Pretty tanky, but there you go. That's an additional 8 heat plasma batteries. Is all down to RNG, whether it's enough or not. And then we just return to Albion. So we got 22 in, I believe, a few minutes. It's definitely not as efficient. If you guys know a better way to get the heat plasma batteries, I am open for suggestions, but I believe that this is probably the fastest way right now. There's no trick as good as the low carbon activators. So then you just need to run that maybe 2 more times, 3 more times, so then you have enough. So you have your 55 fission batteries. And then we're gonna move on from there. We're gonna need the polyatomic ion particles. These, I've seen a lot of different ways that you can do them, and I think I found the best one. It's very simple to do as well. You're just gonna go to Fortress on normal over here. And I've tried all of these missions out. I feel like this is the easiest one by far. The high thermal source detected. If I have my throat there. The high thermal source detected zone. Right? You're gonna run over here. It helps a lot if you have bunny, if you have mob clear or whatever. There's a lot of ways to go about it, but there's also a really neat trick you can do specifically when grinding missions, which we are gonna show. I'm gonna show you guys after we have finished this one, but first we're gonna clear it. Also, spamming tab helps, or clicking tab occasionally. Just scan, make sure all the enemies are dead. They do spawn very cheekily on this mission. I'll try to point out the ones I've found. So this one is a good example. You're gonna run in here, and then you're gonna immediately turn back, because these two always hide back here, and it takes a lot of time to find them. All right, then we continue. This is a good example of one of those that you might as well run on normal. I believe that the loot is about the same, and you just kind of save a lot of time by running it, because the enemies are just that much lower health. They don't have as many power-ups and whatever. It's just easier. And just like that, that must have taken, we can even see, we've got 9 ion particles with that. And then, as I mentioned, this is the trick, right? 1 minute 46 seconds, probably one of my best runs, honestly. Just hit restart mission. When you're playing missions, you don't have to wait the 30-second timer. It just takes you immediately to the start. It starts over, and you can immediately just start over and start killing these dudes that now have respawned, and they're ready to go. It's much, especially for this one, I'd say it matters more, because in this very case, man, fuck that guy. In this very case, the mission is very far away from the closest fast travel points. You have to spend a lot of time running back and forth if you don't do the mission, restart mission, sorry. So over the course of the many runs you need to do, you're gonna need to do probably a little over 10 runs on average per energy activator. So this part will take probably 10 minutes, 20 minutes in between there, depending. You're gonna want to, again, just kind of shave off as many seconds as you can. The faster you can run through something, the less time you have to spend doing it. And every second matters when you have to do something 5 times, 10 times, hell, even 100 times. But personally, I find a lot of enjoyment in speedrunning. Not really something I used to do before, but it's just kind of like what I do normally, is trying to make things as fast as possible. And I find a lot of enjoyment in that part. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. It's fun trying to optimize it. If you guys don't feel like doing that, take your time. Then there's 9. So again, you'd have to probably on average run this about 10 times, and then you're set. And that will add probably like 20 minutes to the timer. Maybe even 30 if you are very unlucky or very slow. But moving on, that's the polyatomic particles. These are technically the easy ones. We have told you guys how to get the low carbon activator with the little trick. Best way to get the metallic foil, the best way to get the heat plasma battery, the best way to get the polyatomic ion particle, and now finally we get to the difficult one. We're getting the energy activator blueprint. So this one I haven't done too much experimenting on yet, but I can already tell you where the fastest way you can get this if you want to hard grind it is, which is specifically, so if you guys don't know how to get this one, so to give you guys more information about the energy activator blueprints, they have a 6% drop rate. You can use a shape stabilizer, and you open all of them in the bosses in a void interception. You can only get them from the hard mode, I believe, or at the very least you can get the better drop rate ones from hard mode, I should say. And so the one that makes the most sense would be the easiest one, which is Magister Lab. And you're gonna want one of these 2 patterns. So so you can see when you click up here, you can choose which one you want. This 057, this 056, and I'm gonna pull these up because only one of them actually drop it. I want you guys to see it. So the 056 does not drop it, but the 057 does. Has a 6% drop rate for energy activators. So what you need to do is simple, go infiltration, hard, and then to Kingston, Magister Lab. Now, before you do anything else, we're gonna change it to 57. This is super important because I didn't know about this a while ago and I lost out a lot because of it. And then something that will help a lot is, as you can see up here, I know my camera is blocking a little bit. I'll just turn it off for a second so you can see. But as you can see up here, you have acquisition chance 100% depending on your score, and then there's another one that's 25, 50, and 100 depending on the score, and then finally stabilizer form 7, 11, 20. I don't know exactly how much you get for just finishing this one, but you will get way more if you just do this. You just click that and you get 150%. But you get even more if you have the money to spend. It's just 1,000 by re-rolling this. This can go up to 250 kill score percentage. What this does is it gives you more score. It gives you a modifier on all the score you get, 220% at the cost of, like, the enemies might have more health. In some cases, this modifier that doesn't let you jump or grapple or whatever. But by doing this, you don't have to spend as much time grinding and getting kills. You're still gonna want to kill every single enemy, but you don't have to spend as much time painstakingly killing every single one. And I'm recommending this one here because it is, I would probably say it is, would have to be the easiest one. I'd have to run more tests to say for sure which one is the easiest one to get these amorphous materials, but it's super simple, right? It does have a occupation circle, sadly, but I'm pretty sure all of them do. I'd have to really run it and test. So this would also benefit a lot from having a stack because it has somewhere you just stand and wait. Hopefully they'll make a change where if you run it private, it just caps faster, but we'll have to see. I'm actually working on a video on QOL changes I would love to see in the game, so we even have an elite here, so we're gonna get a little bit of extra loot from him. We don't need an insulated metallic foil for this run, but we'll need it for something else online, so I'll welcome some extra stuff. Remember, we need 30,000 score, so killing as many as possible is just fine. I believe that the boss only gives you 1,000 no matter your modifier. Maybe that is after the modifier, I'm not entirely sure. But it does only give you about 1,000 though. And a kill normally gives you 100, then modifier, so this would be 220 in the corner, as you can see. Okay, so now that we're at the boss, very simple thing you need to do is just basically kill the boss. There will be ads along the way. I know some people will feel like they want to maximize the score. We're gonna need about a 10k score from this specific encounter to get the max drop rate for everything. But don't just spend all the time killing the ads. You do need to fight the boss as well. If you only fight the boss, what ends up happening is that you actually end up in a situation where you have fought the boss, you have killed all the ads that you need, but and you have all the score that you need, but you still have to get the boss down to 1 health. This guy hits pretty hard, so if you are unlucky, he might just end up one-shotting you when you have all the score. Or what ends up happening is you kind of just kill all the ads, get all the score that you need, and now you have to waste time whittling down the boss where you could have already been doing both. So you just kind of shoot at the boss as you can, make sure you get all the ads, and stay aware of the score, but don't let it become the sole focus of what you are doing. I think that is the sanest way to go about it, most efficient way to go about it. We're all about efficiency here. Fuck these balls, man. There we go. Now this game is a bit of a skill check. We've actually cut this a few times, but I'll still tell you we have lost it a few times already. In part because of my bunny build is not the best for this guy. I probably should have just gone with my Glay, but at least it helps with the wave play here a lot. So we have the 31k we need. Still have to whittle this guy down to 0 health. That's almost everything in this game, and all the parts of this grind. Of course, grinding this with a friend will be a lot easier, be easier to kill the boss and whatever. There's no matchmaking in hard mode, so you're gonna have to, again, find a friend to find people to play it with. If you just kind of put the time aside and do a power grind together, you can knock a lot of these out in a short period of time. Much faster than I could as a solo, but it is doable as a solo, just a little bit more time intensive and definitely more difficult. I'm thinking of making a Discord. I have a Discord, but I don't really use it for this game. I was thinking of incorporating a LFG into the Discord. If you guys are interested in that, I'll link it in. There's already a link in the description, but I'll link it in the comments as well. You guys can go and join in, and if you are looking for people to grind with, you'll find like-minded players and grinders right there. This guy hits so hard, you really just have to make sure to mind all of his abilities, man. And there we go. So now we defeated him, we got the score we needed. You can pull up the scores, you can see we got 2 of the 057. Sadly did not get the shape stabilizer, but we got 2 of the 057 because we got past that bump in the scores. You can see here we filled out all the way. It took 12 minutes. I don't know if that counts all the fails or not. We did have a few fails towards the end, I assume it did. But either way, definitely easy way to get 2 of them. Again, if you're in a stack, it is significantly faster, and you can shave down a lot of time, both because you don't fail nearly as much as I did, and also because you just deal more damage. But what do you do now? Now we have the amorphous material. We have a 057. Now we're gonna have to crack this one open. We're gonna get the 6% energy activator blueprint. How do we do that? So what we need to do in order to do that is, first of all, I'm going to switch to my other build. So it depends. So in this case, because of the dungeon that I ran, which is the Magister Lab, you can open this one with the Executioner. But you can really just depend. You're going to have to run either of the hard mode bosses, so it makes sense to do one of the easier ones if you want to be able to actually crack these open. And I think Executioner is pretty damn easy, so that's the one I would choose. Obviously, to make sure we have the most possible damage to run Executioner, we're gonna need some... Oh, so tired. Toxic. Now, obviously, to make sure we have enough damage to deal with this guy, we're gonna need some toxic enhancements on all our weapons. These aren't fully upgraded for me, but we'll get there eventually. Then we're also... You might want to consider getting yourself some defense or an antibody. I'm just gonna plug in the electric special antibody, so I have something just to be a little bit tankier, but just to give myself some more survivability, because we are going to run this one solo, and that's because I do not trust the randoms. But it really depends on your randoms. Sometimes it is faster to run with randoms, sometimes it's faster to run private. It depends on the boss. The way I look at it as well is you don't have to do this one. I normally would try to grind two things at the same time. But basically, you can get these different ones from... So this... Opening this... The Kingston one gives you... The Kingston Dungeons gives you these two that gets open with Executioner. Steriland gives you the ones that are for Stunning Beauty. Okay, cut that part. Alright, let's get him knocked over. Kingfishers, man. When you're soloing this guy, you just kind of wait for that beam and then just stand still. Or he will stand still and you can kind of kill him. Oh boy. Piece of shit. I just run this one in Publix. Forgot about the... Yeah, it's a fucking... buff that makes it impossible to kill. Cut that part. Okay, so moving on, we're gonna obviously unlock this energy activator. Obviously, it depends on which dungeon you're running, because you can get this from any dungeon or mission that you want. We just chose this one because then we can play Executioner, which gives us a chance to grind for electric, and also Executioner is the easiest hard boss out there. Now, I've been soloing Dead Bride a lot, so I'm not too used to Executioner, but just run this one as a stack, and most of the times you will succeed, or even in Publix. Oh man, yeah, the Kingfishers here, so hopefully we can get him, stop him in Frenzy. No, we did not. Okay, and now we're just chilling. Oh fuck. Oh boy. And this Nidalee is too tanky. Is this one first? And there we go. That just took a little while, but we got it. Also getting some electric add-ons is good to have. Maybe get a good roll for Bunny later. But once you clear the boss, what I've been doing also is going for the 069. I'll just give it a quick shout. We're not gonna show you guys how to do it, but I want to give it a quick shout once we have rolled here. But anyways, now that we have done the Magistry, we have the 057, and we've finished Executioner. If we had a shape stabilizer, we could plug that in here. There's a 6% chance of getting the energy activator. Just gonna craft it here, and let's Photoshop in that I got one right here, just so I can claim we can do this in under an hour. But obviously it comes down to RNG. If you have a 6% chance of dropping something, if you don't have a shape stabilizer, there's a great website that I found called dropchance.app. So if it's a 6% chance that you get something, then odds are it might take upwards of... You would probably expect it to take... If you run 38 runs, if you roll this 38 times, then odds are you're gonna have it. There's a 90% chance you'll have it by the 38th time. If you get lucky, you'll get it even sooner. But obviously you will expect this grind to take quite a while. So you can run Executioner. What I've been doing a lot as well is I've been running Dead Bride. I think she's easier to solo. I can probably get Dead Bride under 5 minutes or 3 minutes, depending. But what you then need to do is you need to run a different dungeon called this one over here, the Unknown Laboratory on hard. And then the same thing applies, just add the different modifiers to give you more score, and then just kill all the enemies until you get past, I believe it's 40.2 or 40.5k for that one specifically, and that's then the 069. Now, this is a really tough grind. I don't recommend that anyone spends their time specifically grinding for energy activators. You should instead just kind of grind other things, and as long as you are grinding for something that does have that does require you to hit up a hard dungeon, then you will eventually get the energy activator as a bonus. But it's going to take a very long time if you only grind for these. I was going to give you guys some more statistics real quick. If you go for a, so this was, it's a 100% chance you'll have it if you run it at a free 6% drop rate. If you want to run the easy mode and normal mode version instead, it is faster to do, but it'll take you 76 runs, so twice as long probably to actually get the energy activator. So personally, I would still recommend the hard mode, but it really just depends on what you want to do. The additional bonus of running it in hard mode is, again, when you are rolling on these, when I'm rolling on the 057, which we had 2 of, you will actually, there's a chance you can get the ultimate Ajax enhanced cells. And when you roll for most of these, in my case, I'm upgrading my perforator. There's a, yeah, you can get the energy activator at 6%, but I can also get my perforator at 32%. So you would want to grind for, again, something else, and then have the energy activator as a bonus, because if you specifically grind it, you will lose your mind. It is a very grindy thing. But assuming you are the luckiest person in the world and you apply all of the strategy that I've given you guys today, you can easily get an energy activator under an hour, but you probably won't. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like, subscribe. See ya. Bye bye.